Welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we're going down under to explore the world of Karen Eastland.
A Tasmanian artist.
Right. And she decided to spice up her December creativity.
With some AI help.
Yeah. So,
It's really a fascinating case study.
yeah.
Karen is already a full author, songwriter,
Oh, wow.
and mixed media artist. You might know her from her urban fantasy series, The Adventures of Millie and Sandra. But what makes this December really special
Yeah.
is her choice to work with ChatGPT 4.0, which she nicknamed Sol.
Oh, interesting. So it wasn't just like a little...
It wasn't just a fling.
Yeah, exactly. She went all in.
She went all in.
Yeah.
Karen set a goal to write 25 original Australian Christmas songs.
Wow.
One for each day leading up to Christmas Eve, all with Sol. Plus, she did 4 New Year's Eve songs,
Oh, my goodness.
while still releasing her regular non-Christmas songs every 5 days.
So she's a productivity machine.
The amount of work is impressive, no doubt.
Yeah.
But the really interesting part is how this collaboration worked. Did she just give prompts to Sol and get generic holiday tunes?
Yeah.
Or
Right.
did she keep her artistic voice and control while using AI?
Yeah, that's what I'm really curious about. That's what we're going to unpack in this deep dive.
Exactly.
So the big question is, how did working with AI change her creative process? And what can we learn from that as AI becomes more integrated into our own lives?
Exactly. It's a glimpse into a future where AI isn't just for automation, but a partner in creativity.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so let's get into it. You mentioned lyric refinement, right?
Right.
Like with her song Kiss Me at Midnight.
Kiss Me at Midnight is a great example of how Karen used soul for more than just making words. She actually spent hours writing the first lyrics for this sultry jazz ballad.
Wow.
Then she used soul to make them better, more evocative,
Yeah.
and to really get the flow perfect.
So AI wasn't writing the song. It was more like a high-level editor, like another set of eyes on the lyrics.
Exactly. And the key here is that Karen didn't just take Soul's suggestions.
Right.
She still made her own final changes. So the song was really what she wanted.
That makes sense. So it's this balance between using what AI can do
Yeah.
and still owning the art.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And that's something that so many people are thinking about right now. Is AI going to kill creativity?
Right.
Or is it a tool that can make our art even better?
Yeah.
It's a question Karen thinks about during her December experiment.
Uh-huh.
Her experience seems to say the answer isn't simple. It's more about finding the sweet spot, understanding what AI is good at, and using it strategically to reach your creative goals.
It's about knowing the strengths and weaknesses.
Yes, absolutely.
Kiss Me at Midnight isn't the only example of this balancing act, though, right? There's In Your Glow, which was originally a poem Karen wrote a while back.
Yeah, In Your Glow is a great one. It shows how AI can connect our past creative selves with what we want to do now.
Yeah.
Karen used soul to breathe life into this old poem, turning it into a pop rock love ballad.
So in a way, Saul helped her tap into some creative energy that she might have missed.
That's right. And this brings up an interesting question for us all. What creative gems might we have tucked away, just waiting to be rediscovered and remade with a little AI help?
Okay, so now this is where things get really interesting to me. Because Karen didn't stop with traditional genres. She used AI to make a whole metal band. It's called Wrecked and Ready. And she didn't just stop at the music. She used AI to make the album art, too.
Oh yeah, Wrecked and Ready as a whole other layer to this whole thing.
Yeah.
Here, Karen goes deeper into the technical stuff AI can do. She uses things like Google Labs image generation software to make these really realistic, almost event-like album covers.
Okay, I'm picturing those hyper-realistic images that are all over the internet now. You can't tell what's real and what's AI.
Exactly. And this shows a trend. AI is making it easier for artists to handle the technical parts of their work. They can spend more time on the creative stuff.
It's like AI takes on the role of a tech expert so the artist can be more of a visionary director.
That's a great way to put it. And even with Wrecked and Ready, Karen still wanted to be in control.
Of course.
She didn't just let AI do whatever. She was using these tools to show her own ideas.
That's so important, especially as AI gets more powerful and complex.
For sure. And it's something that Karen emphasizes when she talks about her experience. She wrote about it in her journal. She talks about how she had to compromise between giving up control and using AI's power.
So she didn't just hand over everything to AI, right?
Yeah.
She still wrote some songs herself, like Merry Thing Christmas Mate.
Right. Merry Thing Christmas Mate is a great example of Karen showing her own voice and proving AI wasn't calling all the shots.
It's like she was reminding herself, and all of us, that human creativity is still at the heart of her work, even when AI is involved.
Absolutely. And that leads to a crucial question. How did this back and forth between her own creation and working with AI actually affect her songwriting process? Did it change how she writes lyrics, melodies, or even whole song structures?
Right, because we talked about how AI helped her fix lyrics and repurpose older material. But I wonder if it changed how she wrote from scratch, too. Did she think differently about melodies, chord progressions, or even the structure of the song when she knew Saul was involved?
Those are great questions. And to answer them, we need to dig deeper into what Karen says about the creative process itself. Because beyond the technical stuff about using AI, there's a whole other level about how working with AI affected her mindset as an artist.
Yeah, picking up where we left off, I think it's super insightful to look at how Karen describes AI's impact on her songwriting. In her journal, she mentions, at first, she was worried about depending on Saul too much, almost like she was cheating creativity.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. If AI can write lyrics, melodies, even whole songs,
Yeah.
does that make the human part less important?
Right. But what Karen found is that AI is a fantastic tool for brainstorming and getting those creative juices flowing.
Okay.
But the real magic is still that space where human intuition and artistic vision take over. She said Saul was most helpful in the beginning stages. Okay.
Like when she was brainstorming themes or trying out different ways to write lyrics.
It was more like AI helping her get started than AI dictating the whole song.
Exactly. Once she had a good base, Karen would take over,
Okay.
refining the lyrics, writing the melodies, and shaping the song into its final form. It was a true collaboration, each partner using their strengths.
It's like AI gives the raw materials, but the artist still has to mold them into something meaningful and expressive.
Exactly. And that's where Karen's skill as a songwriter really shows. She has a deep understanding of song structure, melody, and how to make music connect with people's emotions. And she used those skills to turn those AI ideas into something special.
Okay, but let's get back to that AI metal band for a second. Because Wrecked and Ready seems to push the boundaries of this collaboration even further. It's one thing for AI to tweak lyrics or suggest music ideas, but creating a whole band persona with music and visuals, that's a whole other level.
Yeah, you're right. Wrecked and Ready takes things up a notch. Yeah. It's almost like Karen's exploring AI not just as a collaborator, but as a co-creator.
Yeah.
Even a performer.
Oh, wow. So are we saying AI is becoming sentient? Like, is Wrecked and Ready going to start touring and playing festivals?
Let's not get carried away with the sci-fi scenarios just yet.
Okay.
What Karen is doing with Wrecked and Ready does raise some interesting questions about AI's role in creativity. If AI can create music, lyrics, and even a visual identity for a band, what does that mean for the future of artistic expression?
Right, it's not just about AI taking over for human artists, is it?
No.
It's about finding new possibilities, new ways to be creative, and maybe even blurring the lines between human art and AI art.
You got it. And I think Karen being willing to experiment, to push the boundaries and question what it means to be a creator is super valuable.
It's like she's giving us a peek into a future where creativity isn't limited by what humans can do, but expanded by what AI makes possible.
That's what makes this whole conversation so exciting. We're seeing a huge shift in how we create and experience art, and Karen's right there leading the way.
Okay, so we've talked about her process and her overall experience, but I'm curious about the results. Did working with AI actually make her a better songwriter? Did it lead to more impactful, more emotionally resonant music?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's up to each person to decide. But what's interesting is that Karen herself believes working with Saul has made her more creative, helped her step outside her comfort zone, and explore new musical territory.
So it's not just about churning out more songs, it's about AI helping her grow as an artist.
Exactly. And while we haven't heard all 25 Christmas songs or the 4 New Year's Eve tracks, the bits she's shared show a real mix of styles, from jazz ballads to pop rock anthems to, of course, heavy metal.
And even if we forget about the music itself, the fact that she was able to produce so much work while dealing with real-life problems is amazing. Remember, she mentioned a health scare and even a car accident in her journal.
Oh yeah, that's right. That really shows her dedication and the potential for AI to support artists during tough times. It's almost like Saul gave her a creative outlet, a way to channel her energy in something positive, even when life was throwing curveballs.
It's like having a creative partner who's always there, ready to work with you and keep you on track, even when things are tough.
It speaks to a deep human need to connect and be creative, something that AI, in its own way, might be able to help with.
Okay, this is all incredibly fascinating, but I have to be honest, I'm still a little skeptical. I get that AI can be useful, but can it really replace that human spark, that raw emotion, those lived experiences that make art so powerful?
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
And it's a question artists, musicians, and creators of all kinds will keep wrestling with as AI becomes a bigger part of how we create.
Yeah.
But I think Karen's story gives us an important perspective. She doesn't see AI as replacing human creativity, but as a way to enhance it and make it stronger.
Like, AI provides the framework, but the artist brings the heart, the soul, that unique perspective that makes art truly connect.
That's it. And that's why what Karen says about this experience is so important. She's honest about the difficulties of working with AI, but she's also excited about the possibilities it opens up.
So it's not a simple yes or no answer. It's about finding the right balance, the right way to use AI in our creative process without forgetting what makes us human.
Exactly. And that's a journey each artist will have to figure out on their own.
Hmm.
But I think Karen's story gives us a guide, some insights and things to think about that can help us approach this new era of creativity with excitement and a critical eye.
And speaking of insights, I'd love to hear more about how she used those specific AI tools, especially the Google Labs image generators.
Yeah.
If AI can make super realistic visuals from just a few words, that has huge implications, not just for music, but for all kinds of creative fields.
Oh, absolutely. Those image generation tools are a game changer.
Yeah.
And to understand how Karen used them, we need to understand the tech itself.
Yeah.
It's not just random image creation. There's a level of control that's really amazing.
Okay, so let's get technical for a minute. How do these image generators work? What's happening when someone like Karen types in a description and gets back this stunningly realistic image?
At the heart of it all are algorithms called neural networks. They're basically computer systems that are modeled after the human brain. These networks are trained on tons of images and text. They learn to recognize patterns and connections between what they see and the words that describe them.
So they're learning the visual language of the world.
Exactly. And once they learn this language, they can translate text descriptions into visual representations. So when Karen types something like a futuristic robot playing a flaming guitar on a stage made of molten lava,
Wow.
the neural network breaks those words down into visual pieces and then uses that to create an image that matches the description.
It's like having a visual translator turning your thoughts into images.
Right, and the results can be super detailed and real, like those images we see online that are hard to tell from real photos. But what's even cooler is the control you have.
So it's not just random images. You can guide the AI to make something specific.
Yeah. You can change things like the style, composition, lighting, even the artistic techniques the AI should use. So Karen could say she wanted the Wrecked and Ready covers to have a dark, gritty, almost cyberpunk look, and the AI would use those preferences when making the images.
It's like you're directing the AI being a creative partner instead of just a random image machine.
You got it. And that's what makes these tools so powerful. They're not just automating creativity, they're giving artists new tools to express themselves in ways we couldn't imagine before.
I can see how these image generation tools could change everything, not just album art. Think about graphic design, illustration, even movies and animation.
The possibilities are endless. And as these tools get better, we'll see even more amazing uses.
But we can't forget about the ethics, right? If AI can make realistic images from just words, how do we make sure it's not used for bad things, like making fake videos or spreading misinformation?
That's a crucial point. It shows that we need responsible development and ethical guidelines as we navigate this new world of AI-powered creativity.
It's like we're at a crossroads, incredible possibilities on one side and potential dangers on the other. We have to decide how to use this tech for good.
You said it. I think Karen's story gives us hope. She's not afraid of AI's power, but she knows how important it is to use it carefully and ethically.
That's a message we should all remember as we explore this world of AI. But we haven't talked about Karen's other passion, her urban fantasy writing. She's the author of The Adventures of Millie and Sandra, a
Yeah.
series she wrote before she started working with AI.
That's a great point. It brings up an interesting question. Did she use AI in her fiction writing too?
Yeah, did she keep those worlds separate?
Right.
If she's comfortable using AI for music and visuals, it makes you wonder if she experimented with it in her novels too. But then again, maybe writing fiction felt more personal, more intimate,
Right.
a creative space she wanted to keep separate from AI.
That's a tough choice, and one that a lot of writers are facing as AI writing tools get better. On one hand, AI could help brainstorm plot ideas, develop characters, even write dialogue.
It's like having a virtual writing buddy to bounce ideas off of, help you flesh out scenes, or even get past writer's block.
But then there's the worry that using AI too much might stifle the writer's own voice and creativity.
Yeah, because fiction is often seen as the purest form of personal expression, imagination, and pouring your heart out.
Exactly. And the question is, can AI really capture all that? Those subtle human emotions and experiences that make great fiction so engaging.
Yeah, can AI really understand the human heart? Can it tap into what drives great storytelling?
Those are deep questions, and we're just starting to explore them as AI technology keeps developing. To get a better sense of how Karen might have approached this, we need to look at her thoughts on writing itself.
Okay.
If we know what she thinks about writing, the role of the author, and how she connects with her characters, we might get some clues about whether she'd be open to using AI in that process. Thankfully, Karen has talked about her writing journey quite a bit. In interviews and blog posts, she talks about how much she loved creating worlds, her fascination with complicated characters, and her belief in the power of stories to connect with people emotionally.
So she's not just writing genre fiction, she's approaching it with real artistry.
Exactly. And that's what makes this question of AI so interesting. Would she see AI as a tool to improve her craft? Something to help her explore new ways to tell stories, or even to connect more deeply with her characters?
Right.
Or would she see it as a threat to how real and personal her writing process is?
Because it's not just about the technical side of writing, it's about the emotional core, the heart and soul that an author puts into their work.
Absolutely. And that's where things get really interesting. If AI could tap into those emotions, if it could help writers find and express those deeper human experiences, then we're talking about a whole new level of creativity.
Wow, imagine AI helping writers create stories that are not just well-written, but emotionally powerful. Stories that truly move and inspire people.
That's a pretty amazing thought, right?
Yeah.
And while we're still early in exploring this, I think Karen's story gives us a glimpse of what might be possible.
I agree. I have a feeling that even if she hasn't used AI in her fiction yet, she's probably thinking about it.
I wouldn't be surprised. After all, she's shown she's open to using AI in other parts of her creative life.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the adventures of Millie and Sandra will have an AI character or two someday.
No, that would be a twist. Speaking of twists, we haven't really talked about the challenges Karen faced. We've talked about her AI experience like it was all smooth sailing, but her journal mentions struggles and doubts.
That's true. We need to remember that this wasn't always easy. There were times when Karen felt overwhelmed, frustrated, even a little disappointed with the whole AI collaboration.
So it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. There were times when she questioned whether working with AI was worth it.
Definitely. And those moments of doubt are just as important as the moments of success and creative breakthroughs. They show us how complicated it is to integrate AI into our creative lives.
Right, it's not a magic solution to every creative problem. It's a new tool, a new way of working that takes getting used to, experimenting, and being open to the unknown.
Exactly. And Karen being honest about those struggles makes her story more relatable and inspiring. It shows that even for someone who's tech-savvy and loves creative adventures, working with AI isn't always a walk in the park.
It's like any new relationship. It takes time, effort, and a willingness to work through the hard parts to really see the benefits.
That's a great way to put it. It reminds me of something Karen wrote in her journal that really stuck with me. She said, "Collaborating with AI is like learning to dance with a partner who has their own rhythm and style. It takes practice, patience, and a willingness to let go of some control to find that sweet spot where your movements flow together seamlessly."
That's a beautiful way to describe it. It captures the essence of what we've been talking about, finding that balance between human and artificial creativity, between staying in control and letting go, between pushing boundaries and staying true to your own artistic vision.
Exactly. And that's a valuable lesson for anyone curious about AI in their own creative work. It's not about AI replacing human creativity. It's about finding ways to make it stronger, to see what we can do when human and artificial intelligence work together.
And that's what makes Karen's story so interesting. It's not just about the tech, it's about the human journey, the creative exploration, the ups and downs of trying something new.
And it's a journey that's just beginning. As AI keeps evolving, we can expect even more exciting, challenging, and thought-provoking changes in the world of creativity.
I can't wait to see what the future holds. But for now, let's focus on some of those AI tools Karen used. Because while her story is inspiring, I think our listeners want to get a little hands-on to understand how these tools work and how they could use them in their own creative projects.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
After all, this deep dive is all about inspiration and giving practical insights and takeaways people can actually use.
That's right. So let's start with something that really caught my attention. Notebook LM. You described it as a game changer for writers.
Yeah.
Before we get into the details, can you give us a broader view of AI writing tools in general?
Right.
There's a lot of hype and confusion, and I'm sure some people are wondering what these tools can really do.
It's true. We should set the scene first. AI writing tools are changing fast. What was cutting edge a while ago might be old news today. But generally, we can group these tools into a few categories.
Okay, categories helps me keep things straight.
Right.
What are the main types of AI writing tools out there?
Well, at the simplest level, there are grammar and spell checkers.
Yeah.
The ones most of us already use. They use algorithms to catch mistakes, making sure sentences are grammatically correct and there are no typos.
Right. Those are everywhere these days, built into word processors and web browsers. But those aren't really AI writing in the true sense, are they?
True, they're more about fixing mistakes than helping with creativity.
Yeah.
But they pave the way for more advanced tools that can actually help us make our writing clearer, more impactful, and improve our style overall.
So what's the next level?
The next category would be style and tone analyzers.
Oh, okay.
These go beyond just checking for errors.
Mm-hmm.
They analyze the style and tone, giving feedback and suggestions.
So they can tell you if your writing is too formal, too casual, too wordy, or too short.
Exactly. They can also spot problems with sentence structure, word choices, even the flow and rhythm of your writing.
That's pretty impressive. It's like having a writing coach who gives personalized advice.
And they're getting even better. Some can even suggest specific words or phrases to make your writing clearer and stronger.
So they don't just point out problems, they offer solutions too.
Exactly. And that's what makes them so valuable for writers of all levels. They can help us be more aware of our writing habits, see what needs work, and find our own stronger, more effective voice.
So we've got grammar checkers, style analyzers. What else?
This next category is where things get really interesting. These are the content generators, or AI writing assistants.
Oh, now we're talking real AI writing. What can they do?
They can actually write content based on what we tell them. Like, we can give a topic and some keywords, and they'll write a draft of an article, blog post, even a short story.
Wait, AI can write whole articles or stories for us, just like that?
Not exactly just like that. It's still a team effort. AI creates a first draft, but then the human writer has to look it over, edit it, and make it their own.
So it's more like a jumping off point for our own creativity.
Exactly. And that's what makes them powerful. They help us get past writer's block, come up with new ideas, even try out different writing styles and genres.
I'm still a little skeptical. Can AI really understand all the subtleties of human language, those tiny bits of meaning and emotion that make writing truly great?
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
And AI writing tools are still pretty new.
Yeah.
They can't replace the creativity, insight, and empathy of a good writer. But they can definitely boost those things, giving us new tools to explore language and storytelling.
Okay, so these content generators are cool, but they still need us to guide them. Is there a level beyond that? Can AI write completely on its own without us?
That's a question causing a lot of debate in the AI world. We're not quite there yet, but there are some new technologies pushing the limits of what's possible.
Oh, like what?
There are researchers working on AI that can read tons of text, like novels, articles, even social media posts,
Oh.
and then write new stuff that sounds just like the original sources.
So AI is learning to write like specific authors or even whole genres.
Exactly. And it can be amazing what they come up with. There are AIs writing short stories, poems, even scripts that you'd think were written by people.
That's both incredible and a bit scary. It's like AI is blurring the lines between what's human and what's artificial in creativity.
It definitely makes you think about what authorship really means, the nature of creativity, and what the future of storytelling might look like.
Let's not get too philosophical for now.
Yeah, good point.
I want to get back to Notebook LM. It seems like the perfect bridge between those basic writing tools and the more advanced AI writers.
You're right. Notebook LM falls somewhere in between. It's not just about fixing errors or analyzing style. It's about working with the writer to generate ideas, organize thoughts, and even improve and expand existing text.
Okay, now you've got me hooked. Tell me how it works.
Imagine a digital notebook that not only keeps your notes and drafts, but also understands what you're writing, the context, even the themes and ideas you're exploring.
A supercharged note-taking app that's also a brainstorming partner.
Exactly. Notebook LM uses natural language processing and machine learning to understand your writing and then offer suggestions, insights, even new text based on what it's learned.
So say I'm writing a novel. How could Notebook LM actually help me?
You can give it all your notes, character sketches, plot outlines, even random thoughts and ideas you've written down. Notebook LM would then analyze everything, finding common themes, potential plot points, and even links between characters you might have missed.
So like a research assistant who's also a story expert, helping you connect the dots and see the big picture.
Exactly. Then, as you write, Notebook LM can give you real-time feedback and suggestions. It might suggest different words, point out problems with your plot, even come up with dialogue for your characters.
Wow, that would be so helpful, especially for someone like me who gets lost in the details and forgets about the overall story.
And get this, Notebook LM can also learn from how you write and what you like over time. The more you use it, the more personal and useful its suggestions become.
So it's not just a tool, it's a partner that learns and grows with you as you write.
That's what makes it so exciting. It's a peek into the future where AI writing tools aren't just about doing tasks, but becoming partners, helping us unlock our creativity and become better storytellers.
Okay, I'm definitely interested. But before I run off to get Notebook LM, let's get back to Karen for a minute. We've talked about the tools and tech, but what did she learn from all this? Did working with AI change how she thinks about creativity, songwriting, even herself as an artist?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
We need to look beyond just what AI can do and think about the deeper meaning of her creative journey.
Yeah.
Because Karen's story isn't just about technology, it's about the human spirit, that drive to create, and how art and innovation are always changing together.
That's what makes this deep dive so interesting. It's not just about the nuts and bolts of AI, it's about exploring what it means to be human in this age of incredible technology.
I like how you put that. I think Karen's reflections on this experience give us some valuable insights into those very questions. She's honest about the challenges of working with AI, but she's also excited about the potential.
So there's no simple answer. It's about finding that balance between the new and the old, pushing boundaries but staying true to your creative self.
Exactly. It's a journey each artist, creator, each person will have to figure out. But I think Karen's story shows us the way, with insights that can help us approach this new era of AI-powered creativity with both excitement and a cautious mind.
Speaking of insights, there's a part in Karen's journal that really resonated with me. She wrote, "Working with AI has taught me that creativity is not a finite resource, it's an ever-expanding universe."
Oh, that's a great one. It challenges the idea that AI is stealing creativity from humans. Instead, it suggests that AI can actually help us find new inspiration, new ways of thinking, and ultimately change what it means to be creative.
That's a powerful message for our listeners as we wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Absolutely.
It reminds us that even though AI is a new tool in the creative world, it's still up to us, the human artists, to use it wisely, ethically, and with a deep respect for the power of human imagination.
I couldn't have said it better. And that's the perfect lead into our next part, where we'll look at the specific tools Karen used in her December project,
Okay.
from music generators to image creators, and we'll explore how they might be relevant to our own creative journeys.
Sounds great. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be back after a quick break.
Okay, so we're back and ready to look at these AI tools. I'm still thinking about Notebook LM as this digital brainstorming buddy.
It's pretty cool, right?
Before we move on to the other tools, can you tell me more about how you'd actually use Notebook LM when you're writing?
Sure. Picture this. You're looking at a blank page, feeling that writer's block coming on. You open Notebook LM and just start typing. Random thoughts, half-baked ideas, anything. It's like you're talking to yourself, but this notebook is listening and understanding everything.
So you don't need a perfect outline or a fully formed idea. You can just let it all out.
Exactly. That's what makes Notebook LM different. It doesn't force you into a box. It meets you where you are creatively and helps you get going.
So I've put all my jumbled thoughts into Notebook LM. What happens then? Does it give me a finished novel? Not quite, but this is where the magic happens. Notebook LM analyzes what you've written, looks for patterns, connections, even things that don't quite add up. It might highlight phrases or sentences that stand out as really powerful or insightful.
So it's like it's reading between the lines.
Yeah, and based on what it finds, Notebook LM starts making suggestions. It might point out plot holes or things about your characters that don't make sense.
Okay.
It could even suggest different storylines or character motivations you hadn't thought of.
So it's not just about grammar and sentences, it's helping shape the whole story.
Exactly. And the amazing part is Notebook LM learns from you over time.
Oh, wow.
The more you use it, the better it understands your writing style, your voice, and what you want to create.
So it's like a writing partner who knows your work and gets better at helping you.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And that's what sets Notebook LM apart. It's
Really?
not just software, it's a partner that grows with you as you write.
I gotta say, I'm really interested in this. I might need to try Notebook LM myself.
You should.
But let's talk about those other tools Karen mentioned.
Yeah?
She used Suno V4 for music.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that fits in with other AI music tools.
Oh, Suno V4 is a prime example of how AI is changing music. It's one of a new breed of production tools that makes creating professional-sounding music way easier, even if you're not a pro or haven't had formal training.
There's been music software around forever, though. What makes Suno V4 different?
It's the AI.
Okay.
Suno V4 isn't just a bunch of digital instruments and recording features, it's a creative partner. It understands your musical ideas, suggests things, even writes whole parts of a song based on what you tell it.
Okay, so let's say I have a melody in my head, but I can't play anything. Can I hum it into Suno V4 and it makes a whole orchestrated piece?
Well, it might not be that easy,
Okay.
but Suno V4 does let you put in musical ideas in different ways. You can use a MIDI keyboard, a virtual instrument, or even just type in the notes and chords.
So I put in my basic idea, then what?
That's where the AI shines. Suno V4 can analyze your input, figure out the style and mood you're going for, then suggest melodies, harmonies, even rhythms that fit with your idea.
So it's like a virtual bandmate jamming with you and filling in the blanks.
You got it. And it does more than just add parts. It helps you arrange the song, add transitions, and even master the final track so it sounds really polished.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But if AI can do all that, does that mean real musicians aren't needed anymore?
That's a big question a lot of people have. It's important to remember that AI is a tool, like any other instrument.
Okay.
It can make things better and open up creative possibilities. But it can't replace that human touch, the emotion, the passion, the art that makes music special.
It's about AI and humans working together.
Exactly.
No.
Karen's experience shows that. She didn't use Suno V4 to replace her own skills. She used it to make them better, to try new sounds and styles, and to push herself creatively.
That's encouraging, especially for people who want to make music but find the technical stuff intimidating. It's like AI is making it easier for anyone to express their musical ideas.
It is, and that's what's so cool about AI in all creative fields. It's not about replacing human talent. It's about making creativity possible for everyone and helping people bring your ideas to life.
I'm convinced on the music side. But what about the visuals? Karen used Google Labs image tools to create her album art.
Right.
It's wild that AI can create such realistic images just from words.
Those image generation tools are groundbreaking. They use a type of AI called generative adversarial networks, or GANs. What makes GANs different is that they basically have two neural networks competing with each other.
Okay, that sounds interesting but complex. How do these competing networks make images?
Imagine one network is a forger, trying to make realistic pictures.
Okay.
The other is a detective, trying to spot the fakes. The forger makes images based on what it's learned, and the detective analyzes them to see if they're real or made by AI.
So it's a game of cat and mouse.
Yes. And as they compete, both networks get better. The forger makes more realistic images, and the detective gets better at spotting the fakes.
No, they're pushing each other to be more creative.
Exactly. And that's how GANs make images that are so real, detailed, and often look just like photographs or art made by people.
No wonder Karen's album covers felt so event-like. It's like AI is blending imagination and reality.
It is. And that's what's so exciting. These tools aren't just about doing things automatically. They're about expanding what's visually possible.
It's not just about realistic images either. These tools can also make surreal, abstract, even otherworldly visuals that go beyond what humans usually imagine.
You're right. And that's where the real creative power is. It's not just copying what we know. It's about imagining new worlds, new possibilities, new ways of seeing things.
It's like AI is showing us all these visual possibilities beyond what we can see with our own eyes.
It is. It reminds us that even with all these amazing tools we create, the real source of creativity is the human mind, that spark of imagination that makes us explore, experiment, and push the limits of what we think is possible.
And that's a great place to wrap things up. We've talked about all the technical stuff, but in the end, these AI tools are just tools. It's up to us, the artists, to use them responsibly, ethically, and with a real understanding of what they can and can't do.
I agree. Karen Eastland's story is a great example of that. She used AI's power, but she never forgot her own vision, her voice, her own unique way of seeing the world.
That's the message we want to leave our listeners with. AI is powerful, but it's not replacing human creativity. It's a collaborator, a partner, a tool that can help us explore new things and bring our ideas to life in ways we never imagined.
So as we explore this exciting world of AI-powered creativity, let's do it with curiosity, courage, and a deep appreciation for the amazing power of human imagination.
That's a perfect way to put it. And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into Karen Eastland's creative journey with AI. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time as we continue to explore where technology and creativity meet. Keep those creative sparks flying.